If you are Catholic, being divorced does not mean you're not welcome at church, does not mean you cannot receive the sacraments. And I'm going to clarify that. But right off the bat, you need to know if you've been staying away from the church because you have a civil divorce decree, please don't. Please come back. Everything has a way to be resolved. Have you been through a divorce and you're Catholic, or maybe used to be? Well, there's a good chance that if that's the case, somewhere along the line, you've received some information that is not entirely true. Somewhere along the line, someone gave you some misinformation or said something that really hurt you, and you've been away from the church for a very long time. If that's your situation, I really, really want to talk to you. The church prepares people for marriage, and that's how it should be, not divorce. But Catholics get divorced, and so when they do, there are very pressing, very important questions that need to be answered. These questions are life-changing, and they go well beyond how to separate assets and who gets parental visitation. These questions deserve answers, correct answers. I'm Lisa Duffy, and I have authored 7 books on healing after divorce as a Catholic. And I've spent 25 plus years walking beside men and women who are trying to heal from divorce. And I can tell you there's a lot of misinformation out there. I've heard so many things that just people were told and just are not true. I'd like to go over some of those things with you right now and just see, just sort of test what you may have been told to see if it's actually true. So the number one thing that I've heard people say is that if they are divorced, they are no longer welcome at church. They can't receive communion, and they may as well just go jump off a cliff. That is not true. If you are Catholic, being divorced does not mean you're not welcome at church, does not mean you cannot receive the sacraments. And I'm going to clarify that. But right off the bat, you need to know if you've been staying away from the church because you have a civil divorce decree, please don't. Please come back. Everything has a way to be resolved. So let's say you are a Catholic who didn't want your divorce. You fought for your marriage, but in the end, the no-fault divorce laws in every state basically guarantee that if one spouse wants the divorce, it's a done deal, no matter what the other person says. You can fight it, but good luck, right? So in that case, it's very similar to my case. I was forced into divorce. I didn't want it. If that's your situation, you haven't committed a sin with, being divorced. You did the honorable thing. You tried to save your marriage. So there's no reason why you're not welcome at church. You are welcome, and you're encouraged to attend Mass, to receive the sacraments, and to be active in your parish. So what if you initiated your divorce because you were trying to protect yourself or maybe your children from a dangerous, immoral situation? Well, you have not committed a sin in doing so. And you should feel confident that in that situation, not only are you welcome at church, but you need your parish community. You need support. Okay, so what if you are divorced and you got remarried outside the Catholic Church, meaning you didn't go through the annulment process and receive a decree of nullity or decree of invalidity, as it's sometimes called? In that case, yes, you are still welcome at church. You are still welcome and encouraged to attend Mass. The only difference there is because the church doesn't know whether or not your first marriage was actually a covenant in the eyes of God, an indissoluble covenant, in that case, don't receive communion. And that will only be until your situation is rectified, as far as finding out through the annulment process whether or not you had a valid marriage bond the first time. You can go up in the communion line with your hands crossed over your heart, and that will tell the priest that you would like to receive a blessing in lieu of receiving the Eucharist. And that is a great way to be participating in the Mass as well. And you know what? Let's talk about the annulment process for a minute. When I was going through my divorce, I heard so many horror stories about terrible things happening, and how the church was just a money grab, and just terrible things that really scared me off. But I can tell you, I went through the annulment process several years later after my divorce, and I found incredible healing. It is true that you will have to give an account of your dating, engagement, and marriage period, and then certainly details after your divorce. But the most important thing is being able to come face to face with what actually happened. That's what happened for me. As I sifted through those details of my marriage and all the mistakes that were made, all the things that had happened, I was forced to reconcile that. I was forced to accept the mistakes that I had made, as well as understanding in a deeper sense what happened, why my ex-husband did what he did, things like that. It was a very cleansing experience, and it was one that helped me make peace with everything that had happened. And it allowed me to close that chapter of my life and put it away. And I only bring it out in times like this when I want to talk to someone that may be hurting. And if that's you, I hope that what I'm saying makes a difference. So what do you need to do next? If you're watching this video and you're feeling maybe you will give it another shot, what's the first step, right? The first step is just say a prayer. Just whether it's down on your knees, whether it's in a church, whether it's on your lunch break, just staring out at the street, wherever you are, if you want to give it another chance, then just say a simple prayer, communicate with God, ask for His help, ask for His guidance. Next, find resources. This is what my channel is all about. I have books. I have a course on healing called the Journey of Hope program. And I'm going to be doing lots of content like this to help people find their way and to answer some of those questions that maybe they never received the correct answer to. But also, reach out to someone who knows their faith, whether it's a friend or loved one. You can make an appointment with your parish priest and talk to him. These are things that are waiting for you. All you have to do is take the first step. If you felt that this video has been valuable to you, then I hope you will like it. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, because there's going to be a lot more information coming your way. But also, if you feel like it, just drop a comment below and tell me what's kept you away, because if there's something that I haven't heard yet, I would love to hear it and be able to answer that question. One thing that I really, really want you to know is that the word divorce does not define who you are, okay? You were created in God's image. You are a good person. You were born with gifts and talents that no one else has. More importantly, you have a specific purpose in this life, and only you can fulfill that purpose. So don't let the word divorce define you. So if you're feeling lost because you're separated or divorced and you just don't know where to turn, or If you've been away from the church for a long time and you want to give your Catholic faith another chance, then let's stay connected because I'm here for you.